I'm Kevin Harnett, back with more secrets of bluegrass chefs, and it's time now to take another tasty trip to one of Kentucky's amazing state parks. This time we visit Carter Caves in Carter County, which is surrounded by woodlands and hiking trails.
We have a bunch of different caves.
You can fish, mountain bike, even go horseback riding, and then enjoy amazing food at Tyranny's Cavern, like a buffalo chicken sandwich, or maybe their Kentucky catfish tacos. And make sure to leave room for a treat at the end of your meal, a homemade state park cinnamon bun made from scratch by Chef Caleb Mabry.
Let's do this. We have milk. We're going to add our sugar. So we're going to give that a good stir so it's all mixed together well. And add a 1/4 cup of butter. So we're going to take that and then we're going to warm it up. The microwave works great.
It's important to warm up the milk a little bit so the butter can melt and so the yeast will activate when you add it in.
Typically between 100 degrees and 110 degrees Fahrenheit is where you want to have that. So we have dry yeast here. We're just going to kind of pour that in there, and then we're going to mix that yeast in there really good, make sure it all gets nice and wet and can thrive.
It's going to take about 10 minutes for the yeast to activate. Then the chef mixes the wet ingredients with flour and salt in a mixer.
So we're just going to kind of slowly mix that in there as the wet ingredients mix with the dry and start to form our dough ball. You want it to be wet and tacky, but not sticky to where you can't really work with it or it won't come off the side of the bowl. We're going to let that rest in a nice warm place, typically on top of your oven. So a little pro tip, spray the top of your dough, and then once you cover it, saran wrap, spray the top of this as well. And then we're going to take this and just flip this over to the oil side. That way, while the dough is resting, like I said, it will rise about 2-3 times in size. That way, if it does happen to hit the top of that plastic, it doesn't stick to that, and then once you get it out, it's an even bigger mess. So.
The dough needs to rest for about 2 hours. Then it's ready to roll.
So we're going to take that and we're going to kind of roll that out. You want it to be kind of like a rectangle shape typically. So here we have our cinnamon filling mixture. It's almost like a paste consistency. And that is your softened butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and a dash of vanilla. And then we're going to spread that evenly over the entire dough block. Get that as even as possible. That way they're all consistent all the way through. And we're going to kind of tuck and roll our dough into like a log form. That way it gets that nice, beautiful swirl at the end. And then once you get it going nice and tight, you can just kind of quite literally take your hands and roll it up and down the log just so. And you want to find a knife that you're good and comfortable with. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Just kidding. Just like that, we have our cinnamon buns. They have that nice tight roll in there, and these will actually double or even triple in size. We're going to let those rest for another 20 minutes or so until they're nice and fluffy, and they'll go in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
About 15 to 20 minutes later, the buns are golden brown and piping hot.
And you're looking for that nice golden brown, fluffy, bubbly in the middle. Today I've prepared a cream cheese buttercream icing. I make this myself. Typically it's just butter and cream cheese, and you soften those, and then you use powdered sugar to kind of get it to the consistency that you'd like. You season it with vanilla and salt to taste. That way it really makes the flavor pop.
The secret to making this part easy is to put the icing in a plastic bag.
And kind of cut the tip. Anybody, you can do this right at home. We'll kind of do this liberally. You can put as much or as little as you like on there. As that goes on, it'll kind of melt and just kind of soak into those and make them nice and juicy. There you have our homemade cinnamon buns at Carter Cave State Resort Park. Come down and have some.